David, morning. Well, thanks as always for your time. Appreciate that. Dive in with coming out Tuesday night. And said Wednesday. Tuesday night, squad wise, no issues from the guys on duty at Borough.
No, not some serious. I think there are some knocks. Obviously, we have some further training session now. Later, before we travel up north to Sunderland, but at the minute, I think everyone will be fine.
We did ask you after the game, and you said Gunny no go for the next 3 games. What's the clarity now in terms of the backup situation, John McCracken? Have you made a call on that?
Yeah, we will get Vicente Reyes back next week. We leave John McCracken in Accrington for his loan because I think. If we call him back, the loan can't get extended. This means this weekend we will be covered by Caleb again, and next week Vicente will be back from his loan as well.
Okay. So Vicente's away at the minute, isn't he? Yeah. Okay. With Gunny though, because that'll take him to the internationals. I mean, if he was fit in terms of physically, would he still go off with Scotland? They've got some games in November.
No, I can't see this. I can't see that he will be ready immediately from the first day in the international break. Then he would be with us for Cardiff. So obviously, if we would make Cardiff, then obviously he can go to Scotland's national team. But he will not make Cardiff, and I think then it makes no sense. But at the end of the day, we have now to see how everything progresses in the next 10 days, 2 weeks to make a final call, but at the minute I can't see that he will go to Scotland's international team because he will not be ready to train, and then it makes no sense.
Sure, okay. And obviously in the intervening period it's George Long. I mean, that's an experienced keeper, so in this situation, isn't you pitching in whether you believe in these players, but a young player, particularly in the situation with the results, it's good you've got that experienced character who knows what it's all about and you can rely on him in this period without Gunny.
Yeah, absolutely. And to be fair, George trained very well in the international break and the time after the international break, short before the international break already, he really made a big step. Unfortunately, he was not able to be involved so much in the games so far, but he is desperate for the clean sheet as well, like we all together. Something which would be a big first step for us to now come back to our quality, which we all really like to do.
In terms of Grant Hanley, what's the plan there with him? There's a development game, I think, at Stoke coming up. Would that be something that you could look to get some minutes in? Yeah,
if everything progresses what we hope and how it looked, he looked good in this week as well. He will play his first 45 minutes on Monday in this game. Everything so far worked out, the plan which we set up for him, that he will now take the time in between these 2 international breaks for game time under 21, good training sessions with us as well, even if in the last week we didn't train so much because of the midweek game. But the next 2 weeks without a midweek game, we have proper training as well. And then obviously I'm quite sure that he will be in a good shape for after the November international break.
So, from what you're saying there, David, there's no sense that with the results as they are, with his leadership on the pitch in the dressing room, you don't want to fast track him back this side of the international break?
No chance. For this injury was too serious. For this grant is too important to now rush it. Yes, it's not the nicest period of the season which we at the minute have. Yes, we love to have him and his leadership and his personality back on the grass as well, but we can't rush it. They have done everything so well, the medical department, the rehab department, and Grant as well, that he is, I think, 6-7 weeks ahead of the schedule, what we expected, and we can't rush it now because we have not the best results in the last 6 weeks. This makes no sense. He is too important and they've done too many things right that we now rush it. We will follow our plan. The plan is clear. Give him the time of training, of proper training after the serious injury which he had after more than 6 months. Give him game time in the under 21 as well. I'm so happy to have him back in the dressing room and in training as well, but we will stick to this plan.
Have you handled it and the group sort of post-Borough? Has it been routine and what you would do anyway, or is there anything out of the norm? Because as you say, it is a nice period. We all can see the results. They're gone in contrast to the start of the season. There's factors for that. We all know that with the injuries to key players, but particularly now after Borough, following on from Leeds, have you done anything the last 2 or 3 days differently around Colney, or tried to go back to just routine and just keep doing what you do?
Yeah, for sure. I have the one or other conversation and meeting more than which you maybe have if you have 5 wins on the spin. This is the truth. But again, listen, this is not the nicest period, as we all together know. So we like to change this. But one thing is totally clear. I have to take the criticism. This is absolutely fine, correct. I have no problem with this. We are very self-critical as well. We speak to each other very honest. We address it. I criticize my players, myself. We criticize ourselves as well. But do I doubt or question my players? No chance. 6 weeks ago, everybody praised them. They played well. We've seen that they are capable, what they are capable of doing. We see we are not miles away. We lost now 4 games by 1 goal. It's not miles away. So again, for me, there's a big difference between criticize my players, address it, speak honest to them, what went wrong, what I expect, what we have to change, where we have to be better. But I don't doubt them and I don't question them. This makes no sense after what we've experienced before this. Even if, and again, it's totally okay and correct to receive criticism. This is not where I or anyone likes to run away from. But I don't doubt them and I don't question them. This is my team. These are my players. I protect them with everything what I have, even if I expect more from us. This is not a question. And the only one who can change it and the only one who can make it happen is us. And the good thing in the championship is in every game you have a chance. And even in the games which we had in the past, which we lost against Leeds, we could have a draw, which we draw against Coventry, we could have won. Even if the performance was not outstanding, there was a chance for us to collect points in this game. And tomorrow, State of Lights, great occasion, great stadium, no better moment like there against a very good team, a very footballing fluid team. We will invest everything to start to turn it.
When you said there 1 or 2 extra meetings, and we probably expect that. So, what are the messages that you've reiterated now to your players to try and turn the dial, as it were, get back to those results?
No, at the end of the day, I think it makes it totally clear to show what went wrong in our play out, in our build up, and what was okay. To be fair, because there were some periods which were okay. To still give them the belief, the trust and the confidence what they are capable of doing, and the same against the ball. We were too open in the one or other situation and then to address what went wrong, but in other situations we were very strong in our high pressure, how we forced the opponent to uncontrolled balls, how often we won the ball high up the pitch. So there were very good elements in this game as well, not consistently, not long enough and not good enough as well. So as I said, to speak about the truth, and the truth is we conceded a defeat. We were not up to the performance which we expect from ourselves, but there were elements in the game which were good, which have to be more and longer and better. And this is what we've spoken about in individual meetings, in team meetings with groups, and obviously as good as we can, we worked on it as well in this very limited trainings time which we have at the minute.
What about you as an individual? Because anybody who's had any dealings with you externally, you're a very positive person, very enthusiastic. You're coming across as an infectious type of character, but this is testing you as an individual as well. I mean, how do you keep the negativity away?
Keep it away. Listen. At the end of the day, I'm a human like you. I like the praise and I don't like the criticism. It's quite normal, but I respect the criticism because I personally know exactly when it's right and when it isn't right. And at the minute it's right because we didn't collect points and we didn't perform where we can do. But it's the same for me as an individual. I will not get driven away or change my behavior because of we won 6 games in a row or we lost 6 games in a row. This makes no sense. Then you get spin and dizzy as a manager and as a person as well. And this is why I try to be as calm as I can, even if I don't like it, periods like this. But the truth is as well, I don't know, I had a period like this, I don't know how often, and I know the only one who can turn it is us, no one else. As much as you like to support us as journalists, you will not change it for us. As much as supporters like to change it for us, they will not change it for us. The only one is us. And for this, you have to be honest to each other and address it, speak honest what we have to change, and then come on, go for it. Be brave and go for it. And this is exactly how my behavior is. Being on the front line, show the direction, prepare everybody as good as you can. And for me, it's also important that I go to bed in evening and know, okay, I've done everything what I can do on my best with my backroom stuff to prepare the boys. And then there's a moment where the guys cross the white line and they should execute what we are working on. And this is how I always have done it and how I always will do it as well.
It's interesting because I was going to ask you that, and you touched on it, maybe you experience, I'm sure there's periods like this at Huddersfield, Schalke, young boys. Can you lean into that and look back and reflect? And you've had, clearly in all those clubs, probably difficult periods in terms of results. And
for sure. Huddersfield, for sure, we had 5 games, 7 games without a win in a championship season. I think this is something what happens quite regular, to be fair, more or less to every team in the championship. And then the question is how you deal with the situation. Will you get driven away by the noise? Will you stay together, stick together, believe in each other, continue doing your work or not? This is quite easy. And this is in England and Germany and Switzerland, everywhere the same. And this is why I think it's so important as a manager to show the direction and to show solutions. I think at the end of the day, it's all about, yes, difficult period. Yes, we are not as good as we were at the beginning, but there was a reason why we were as good at the beginning, and there's a reason why we are not at the minute. So show the solutions, speak about the solutions, speak about what we should do better, what we should change, and then work on it. Super hard every single day, and this is exactly what my backroom staff and I are doing, and the players as well, to be fair to them.
You said there earlier, inevitably in a period like this, you maybe have 1 or 2 extra meetings, and I'm sure you're referring to your players, but is there any extra dialogue or anything out of the norm with Stuart and Neil? We know the proximity, your relationship, I think you're next door to each other, aren't you, at Colney in terms of your offices? No,
nothing changed. So we meet us more or less every day, see us every day, and have chats about us, the team, the club, the future, the past as well. Obviously, there is the normal day-to-day work.
And in terms, just to clarify, the Ben Napper situation, that is still very much November the 27th. I think that's his start date. He'll officially be in the building. There's nothing changed in this period in terms of when he joins.
No, as long as I know, it's exactly how they said. I met him, as you know, for a very long conversation, a couple of hours, where we met us a long time ago. Since then, we have no contact. I think this is what I've heard. He is now in his holidays, his deserved holidays, to clear his head, to recharge his batteries, and then he will start, as you said, at the end of November. And I'm really looking forward to this. But I think it's important for him as well that he recharges batteries and that he has some family time now at the minute as well.
Some would say, because obviously, there'll be people who get caught up in the results, but then there's maybe other fans out there who would take a step back, zoom out, and see a situation where you've got this change in terms of the sporting director, a very key position with any football club. Even above that, we all know the ongoing situation with the board and the shifting sort of shareholder mix. Does any of that, and I'm not wishing to draw a direct parallel with Schalke because we know you had a lot to contend with there off the pitch, but is any of that a distraction for what you're just trying to do, which is get a group of players there and win games of football?
If you compare this with Schalke, to be fair, this is like sunshine and thunderstorm. So no, listen. I know where you come from, but the truth is, let's be honest. If we would have now a period of good results, everybody would say, bloody hell, this football club is managing this very, very well. There is a clear handover period. There were no games behind the scenes. No one was playing a game. Everything was very clear, controlled. So big credit to the board. And the owners, how they dealt with this situation on the sporting director side. And now, because the results are not there, maybe this is the same. Someone doubted or questioned it. And this is exactly what I meant. This makes no sense. This is done and still is doing very, very professional, very, very proper. And then when Ben comes over, there is a handover period. Till next year with Stuart, which I think is good to give Ben the chance of this handover period as well. And then Ben at one point deserved to be the man who makes the decisions and to be the man who leads this football club, obviously with a lot of support from my side and from all the other guys as well. And the same with the ownership, even if in the ownership transition I'm not so involved, but everything what I've heard, and I had a few conversations, this was done perfectly. So everyone is on the same page, very well organized, very professional organized. So big credit to everyone who was involved in it. And now no one should start to question this because we have now a difficult period on the football pitch. No, everything what was done behind the scenes was super professional and super good and has no effect on what we are doing here at Colney or on the football pitch.
We'll ask you about Schalke another day, maybe. Sounds quite
very good time.
Bring it on a serious note back to you. And you look at in this period, you've been, in terms of changes from starting 11 to starting 11, maybe one, maybe two, you're not really shaking it up too much. Without getting into individuals within this, does it feel like maybe you're getting to the point you just maybe do need to freshen it up just for the sake of freshening it up and churning it around a little bit?
I think you have every right to ask this question, and we can speak about the tactical approach as well. What is maybe approach which make it a little bit easier for the players to grow in confidence, which player gets maybe a little bit more affected by the noise, which player now played a lot of minutes and maybe has to have a rest as well. These are all things which I as a manager together with my backroom staff think about, and hopefully we make the right decisions for tomorrow's game.
In terms of, again, moving that on to in-game decisions, could I just ask you what your thoughts are when you're chasing the game middle of the second half? You brought Adam Eder off, brought Hwang on. What did you feel you wanted to get from that change midweek?
At the end of the day, I think Adam was not as energetic as he was during the game, and the idea was to get new energy into the pitch. And to be fair, as much as I criticized our subs in the game against Leeds or against Coventry, which we had, I thought the subs who came on were quite energetic. Bocha, energetic. Shemi, energetic. Uichu, energetic. So I think if something gave a positive impact in the last game, then it was our subs. If you ask this, so I was quite pleased with the impact, the energy which the subs gave, even if obviously we were not able to turn the game.
On the Borough game, you said one of your first answers, I think, post-match midweek, was you just detected a lack of confidence maybe in ball possession, which is probably the situation. And it's very hard, certainly in the world we live in with social media, for your players to shut themselves off from that and what the maybe sense is outside of the group. But I guess you probably reiterated this in the last few days, just in that aspect, you just want them to be brave, don't you? Don't go into their shells, express themselves in a game.
Yes, because this is the only way. If you don't do this, you will fail. You have to stick to your principles, to your quality, what makes you strong. And if you look back only 3 days before against Leeds, I think our play out and our build up was one of the best in the whole season, to be fair, against a top opponent. And 3 days later, We have not done it. We didn't move in the areas where you really can then receive the ball with the same tempo, with the same speed, with the same behavior. We didn't pass the ball with the same tempo in too many situations as well. And this is why our offensive game was not as fluid as it was, for example, against Leeds only 3 days ago. And this is exactly an example where we compared. Come on, there can't be anything in between the 3 days why you do what you've done 3 days ago and then 3 days later you were on a totally different level. This is not because of freshness, fitness. You don't know how to do it. This is only because you don't show the same bravery, confidence, and this is what I expect from us. I know that it's difficult. They are humans, don't get me wrong. But we all together have to understand you only change it if you do this. If you do less on where you are strong on, then you can't look strong. You will look weak. And this is exactly what we have to make sure that we look strong again and to play to our strength.
Yeah, and then just final one, and bring it firmly into the Sunderland, as you said, very good side, but you look at the results, and not dissimilar. They had a very positive start to the season. I think they were in the top 4, 2 wins in the last 6 now, and 3 defeats on the spin. So how do you assess them as a challenge and as a club?
At the end of the day, it shows only what I said, apart from maybe 1 or 2 teams in the championship. Everyone will have a situation like they have, like we have. At one point, maybe even 2 times a season, it can happen. But this doesn't change. That is a top side with very, very good individuals, good footballers, quick, like to play football, very fluid. Not the tallest side, I think, in set pieces. This is defending set pieces, not one of their strengths, but a very, very, very good side who like to compete for the playoffs, for sure, like we do. And both teams not in the best form results-wise, and this is how it is. We are aware about them, but as I said, the last 10-15 minutes, it's about us to play to our strength, to be focused on ourselves, and to play on the highest level.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks, Paddy.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you.